Infinity Legends video titled Universal Collision Explained. But since the mod had an update and they have added new songs, one chapter and chapter 2 was complete, and they are adding new characters. So yeah, man.
Why are you shaking the camera so much, man? Hold it still, dang. See, that's the point.
The latch is moving yet again. And it's freaking Zachary out.
That's the point where you leave. You just go home, man. Just go home or stop by your favorite restaurant. Go get yourself a McDouble from McDonald's.
Pico and GF call her parents on Tinder. Call her parents on findmyparents.com until a massive corruption punches down and kills them. Corrupted BF appears and shows up with lots of corruption on the screen. And then after that, GF uses 100% of her power to save GF. And then after that, Pico gets semi-corrupted. They should really update the GF sprites. It's not really invasion. Airman, or the overseer of what you can call him, or he's a they, or he's a him, corrupts Brian and semi-corrupts Lois, and Airman tells Brian to find Stewie, which he obeys. Some songs have actually been remastered and have new sprites, so this is actually the newer version. This is the version 2 version of the song. Some songs have actually been updated and remastered a lot. So Tombstone actually has Brian Stewie. Look, do you see the cockroaches? Your mama? The guys were enjoying a minute at the clamp until a massive corruption corrupts them. Peter uses his hand and gets corrupted. Quagmire's face gets mattered, and Cleveland's eye gets corrupted, and Joe's body gets corrupted.
This is everything about.
There is a updated animated FNF version of this. Jerome appears and saves Cleveland and almost saves Peter. Now, there is now no .05. There is now something called side songs. This song is called After the Events. Ew, that's gross. That is gross. I cannot look at that. All I can look about is your pee. What is 5
to the power of 40?
God, can you stop?
How you feel about it?
Quagmire, Peter, and Joe wake up and awake. Death has been engraved and possessed by a demon, Airman, which is racist. They possess and become a new figure called the Purgatory.
You should care about your hairline. I mean, dang, you gotta brush that. Do something. Put some shampoo or some conditioner.
After the events of Wasted and Invasion, Stewie gets left behind, and Brian finds he jumps out the window after his eye gets semi-corrupted. The reason why I'm skipping this song is because the songs are just annoying and stupid and dumb and brainwashy and sexy. We keeps it clean around here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should work. I don't like this.
After the events of Invasion, Peter's daughter, Peter's son, and Peter's wife all head to Lois's parents' house to find them. Babs is corrupted, Lois gets corrupted, and Chris gets semi-corrupted, and Meg. Never mind. Deceived. Chris and Meg decided to go to the forest for unknown reasons until they found Ewits and Retip Knife Rig. Retip and Ewits shoot Chris and Meg, or cry Meg. Unfortunately, this song is very Tim corrupts all the Cleveland members except for Rowo, which he almost gets unbound. Stewie uncorrupts Brian, and Brian pulls a trick on Stewie. Death appears out of Brian's booty hole. Brian does the iconic Subway Surfers Crupper Crunch yodel and starts to run. BF appears, but at the end of the song. Chris and Meg fight Connie D'Amico and her school bullies. Principal Skinner also appears, and they escape the school with minor injuries. Ernie the Giant Chicken, or Mr. Ernie the Giant Chicken, or Mr. Giant Chicken, or Ernie Giant Chicken, or Giant Chicken Mr. Ernie, finds the Purgatory. Ernie jumps and he splatters. Death revives. I don't know how he revived himself, but he is immortal. BF, Stewie, and Brian find Death, and Airman comes in himself, and he mimics BF, GF, Pico, Darnell, Takeman, Spirit, and your great Peter, Quagmire, Joe, and Jerome.
General culture test. This is a test for kids. Did y'all learn about general culture's name? Declan. Your name is
Cleveland, Pittsburgh Steel. Cleveland, and Jerome defeat Tom Tucker, the lead anchor of the fake Fox News program. Later, Chris, Meg, Ewits, and in the song, the evil team and the Suspendeds team are arguing in the forest in their evil lair. After the events of Tombstone version 2, hopefully there'll be a version 3. If there isn't, I'll contact, if you're listening, Universe Collision people, can you explain why Airman is so powerful? Where is his origin story and how did he came to be? And why did he choose Drew? Why can't he just choose like Jerome? And why is Airman using multiple people? Use other people. And why are you so? And what is like black people? Do you have like a voice actor? Do you use like a disabled person voice to you? Peter. The reason Quagmire got uncorrupted is because Death cut the corruption spider web. He throws a scythe at Airman, causing him to get weak. Destiny. Cleveland's group, Chris, Meg, Brian, Stewie, and BF fight corrupted Pam, which is actually a one-time character from Family Guy that I absolutely hate, but maybe I'll love in the future. Ewitz or Evil Stewie shot, and Jerome falls into deep and shoots. The reason why Ewitz has a cut on his face is because Jerome shot him. Unfortunately, there is no what-if scenario, so the only evidence we have to date is that Jerome is 48 years old and Cleveland is 50 years old. Is there? Tragedy. Cleveland's group, Chris, Meg, Brian, Stewie, and Ernie, and Lois. Cleveground gets corrupted. Meg. Cleveground, Meg, Jerome get corrupted, and Lois gets uncorrupted, and Stewie gets corrupted. Lois gets sorry. I'm dyslexic. Quagmire gets saved, and Peter tells Joe to leave. Ewitz have been controlled by Airman, and whyThat gets corrupted in the Liquinator, which is a combination of Ewitz and Evil Peter. Why does this guy look like a younger version of Slash, the guitar from? Quirrell. Quagmire. No, Brian blames Quagmire of corrupting when it was actually Airman who. Airman. Sorry. Come on. Universe Collision, you need to update your folklore. Because I actually know in the lore that Airman.
Like, dang, that was quick. You just like went like,
Cutting edge.
I'm sorry, blonde girl, but you know, Chucky is
Death gets uncorrupted, and he finds Roberta, Cleveland Brown Jr., Donna, and Rollo. He almost uncorrupts them until Rollo corrupts them back. And also decapitates Tim's head, so. Ernie fights his chicken family with Nicole, not the Nicole from Breaking Bad, but the Nicole from Family Guy.
Nice dress though, but you're scared. This might be like Selena Gomez.
After Meg gets corrupted in Tragedy, Chris, the only time that Chris gets corrupted is in Stress Disorder.
Comment down below if your mom does the same. No, I'm saying, don't comment that.
This is the only song that's animated. Penelope has gathered weapons to save and corrupt. No, save and uncorrupt. Stewie Gilbert Griffin. Penelope.
Like Halloween Horror Nights. You proposed to that thing? Oh, they're not supposed to touch you. What the heck, bro? You can sue. Like those things, they're not supposed to touch you at these like horror nights. You know.
Dentinophobia. After Lois gets uncorrupted, Carter and Babs gets corrupt. Does it appear? Carter and Babs gets uncorrupted, and then Peter and Joe say a iconic line non-canon to the actual story. Mr. Washy Washy, an Asian from Family Guy that is very mean towards Peter, appears in Joter, a combination of Joe Swans. Why can they call it like a Peter Joe Griffin Swans? That would have been so fire, but Joter, it sounds like a miss. Ernie fights the Liquidator, and Def appears later on in the song. If Def were to revive, if whyThat would get saved, whyThat would join the Shenanigan Squad. The Shenanigan Squad fights BF's ex Churro and Julian. They almost get uncorrupted until Joter comes and corrupts them back. Gwen Quagmire and Brian Griffin Sir Kurtzenbrow gets into Cleveland, goes full daddy mode and stops the argument. The Shenanigan Squad see Jerome, and Airman uses Jerome for his full advantage. And then Joe and Peter gets uncorrupted, and Airman sends a deal with the Shenanigan Squad that he'll be back by 12 when the time actually in the real game, in real family time, it's 12. So it must have took like an hour to save Peter. BF and Chris gets corrupted by Meg and Dr. Hartman, which is my least favorite character in Family Guy. Dr. Hartman has the same powers. Dr. Hartman has the same powers. Has the same powers as Def and Airman. He mimics Lois and Brian. The Overprotector gets formed. Ernie and Def almost free Jerome, but Airman gets super angry and pissed that they don't want to see their face, and he uses Jerome again, and Lois, Carter, and Babs and BF fight the Overprotector, and BF shoots it. Then Meg gets super angry, and her uses her gun out of her hand. The Shenanigan Squad fights the Liquidator and Wild West. In this universe, Mayor West is dead, unless he is somewhere corrupted. I don't know. if I missed, the reasons why I'm not doing the side songs is because they're just really disturbing. And let's hope you don't. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Now I'm gonna just listen to some Dang Matt Smith reacting to True Story Scary video.